What's up guys, MissPass here, back with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes commentary video, and today I am going to go over the TIE fighter pilot. All maxed out. This was on a development build that I was able to play on a couple weeks back when I was in CG. I've been a little sick the last few days. You'll probably notice my voice sounds a little raspy, but I'm decided that I've taken too long to get a new video out, and I just need to get something out for you guys. And I promised you guys I would give you a good look at the maxed out TIE fighter pilot. So today we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, even though this was on a development build, it was on my profile, maxed out, went ahead, maxed out everything. So those are my mods. They're not the greatest, they were just kind of mods that I threw on him. Now, the TIE fighter pilot is a fast character. That 194 is his speed after just 24 speed from the aero mod that I put on him. His crit chance is ridiculous, 44.9 with only 9% from mods, and he's a really hard-hitting character. Really, his only downside is his health. His basic attack is Targeting Computer. It deals physical damage to a target enemy and deals 35% more damage for each enemy suffering a debuff. It also inflicts Tenacity Down for 2 turns on a critical hit. His special attack is called TIE Strike. It deals physical damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to inflict a buff immunity for 2 turns, and inflicts ability block on the primary target for 1 turn. The ability block with 1 turn is what you get with the Omega. Evasive Maneuvers is his unique. At the end of each of his turns for each debuffed enemy, the TIE fighter pilot gains 10% turn meter and has a 35% chance to gain Foresight for 1 turn. Basically, this dude is fast on top of fast. Not only is he really easy to get up over 200 speed, but he gains 10% turn meter for every debuffed enemy. Oh, and by the way, if you happen to be running Emperor Palpatine, every time he inflicts a debuff, he's getting turn meter, so basically, every time you use his special ability, you're going to be getting some turn meter back, probably 100%. If you're interested in farming the TIE fighter pilot, he is found on the Cantina Battle 4B. Naturally, with his unique ability gaining turn meter from debuffed enemies, you'd want to be running the TIE fighter pilot with other squad members who are capable of inflicting other debuffs. Darth Vader should be obvious. There are plenty of other characters, though, that have debuffs built into their AoEs. Captain Phasma, she has a speed down built into her AoE. She also has the ability to give everyone turn meter. Hooray! Why not give TIE Fighter Pilot even more turn meter? And then added bonus onto that is guaranteed crit. His basic attack, as you can see, is capable of dishing out quite a bit of damage, so there's no shame in guaranteeing that his basic attack is a crit on its next strike. Now, obviously, the most common or most advantageous character to run as a leader for TIE Fighter Pilot is going to be Emperor Palpatine. Reason being is the added potency boost, which will help him land his buff immunity, his Tenacity Down, and his ability block, his turn meter gain from inflicting negative status effects, and then also the fact that he does reduce the evasion of rebels and Jedi, so you're gonna get a lot fewer dodges against Jedi and rebels when you're running an Emperor Palpatine lead. So that's always a plus. If you don't have Emperor Palpatine, which many players may actually not have Emperor Palpatine right now. If you're a newer player, you may not have actually been playing the game when the Emperor's Demise event actually happened. If that's the case and you do not have Emperor Palpatine, don't worry, you can still run the TIE fighter pilot behind a number of other characters who are free to play and you may actually have in your roster. Darth Vader is actually not a bad character to run the TIE fighter pilot with. His basic grants offense, and it has the chance to strip turn meter from his opponents. When you're doing damage with an AoE, that's 5 times the chance to strip turn meter from your opponents. And when you have a fast character like the TIE fighter pilot, often most likely going before the rest of the enemy's team, and possibly stripping turn meter, you're just going to give the rest of your team that much more of an advantage. Other good leaders for TIE Fighter Pilot include IG-88, his crit chance, and if you've got his leader Omega'd, it gives crits the ability to add a damage over time effect, which is only going to help ensure that the TIE Fighter Pilot is doing maximum damage. You can also run him behind Boba Fett. Boba Fett is a great character right now. I'm going to try and get some maxed out Boba Fett gameplay footage for you guys here coming soon, and I'm telling you guys, he's capable of doing some insane damage right now. But his leader ability, 50% increased critical damage. Now naturally you're going to probably want to stack critical damage mods on top of the TIE Fighter Pilot. We'll talk more about mods in a sec, but that extra crit damage, the 10% critical strike chance are both going to benefit the TIE Fighter Pilot. Then you also will probably want to run him behind a character like Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma's leader ability is great for a character like the TIE Fighter Pilot. The TIE Fighter Pilot is doing most of his damage with his basic attack, so whenever he assists, that damage from his basic attack is going to be pulled out. Which brings me to another point. What other characters do you want to run on a squad with the TIE Fighter Pilot? Now naturally, pulling in characters who are capable of calling assists is always a good idea with a character who has a strong basic attack. It's also important to note that the TIE Fighter Pilot has Tenacity Down built into his basic attack whenever he crits. This is important because he is one of two, count 'em, two characters capable of inflicting Tenacity Down, Dengar being the other. Going back to his mods, how do you want to mod the TIE Fighter Pilot? I tend to gravitate towards crit damage and crit chance mods with heavy hitting characters, so that would be my first choice. Now, other players like to use speed mods, and the TIE Fighter Pilot is a good candidate for speed mods because speed mods are based off of the base speed of the character, so a higher base speed on a character, the more beneficial speed mods become. That about does it for my short and sweet TIE Fighter Pilot review for you guys. Hopefully I'll be getting better access to a development build where I can make videos like this where I have maxed out characters and can really show a character's true potential. If you missed my last review similar to this, it was on a development build, maxed out Shirt, Imwe, and Baze Malbus. You can click the annotation on screen to be taken to that video, and as always guys, thanks for watching, like, favorite, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you later.